Hello, welcome to Chess Prime. As part of this video, we are going to see another important JDK 710 feature which is called as a pattern matching for switch class. So pattern matching for switch class is one of the major and important feature which got introduced in JDK 17 and which is very useful when you are dealing with switch class along with to find out the input object or class type is a different type which cannot be predicted. It assume the input type of object is coming from the external source or user inputs. So how we are going to define or how we are going to identify what is the type of the input which is coming to you, and based on that you can use it. Is an integer class or float or any specific class type or a string or any other different types. So this can be identified very easily with the help of pattern matching for switch. So let's get started. So to understand this examples, I'm going to create a simple class called Java 17 pattern match switch. So this is my class name and I need a public static void main method and finish it. So now this class is ready. So before a bit understanding the JDK 17 feature pattern match for switch, first let me write a simple lines or simple piece of code. What is the existing problem to understand it? After that we are going to see how we are going to solve it, this pattern match for switch class. So let me write a simple a piece of code how we are going to deal with a switch class, a traditional switch class which is useful for the integer, enum and string. So traditional switch class can be useful only to deal with integer, int, string and enum. So these are the different types, three types can able to handle with the help of switch class. So let me write a simple program. Yes, now I have written this number of lines to understand, to demonstrate the existing default switch class which can handle int type, string or enum. So these are the three different types it can able to handle, and you can pass the type of the I mean variable. It could be int, string or enum. So example to understand, in our case I'm just passing the int and it could be 10, 20, what are the different values and corresponding value we are trying to return it. So this is the way traditionally we are using switch class, and it can able to work for integer, string and enum, and after matching whichever is matching or default we are returning the value, and that we are going to display it. So this is the a simple and traditional switch class. In case if you want to use a different data types like my own class or float, log, so this will not support. So this is the problem. So let me run this one and let me show you the output. So this existing switch class, and we are seeing the output as default because here there is no matching. So let me pass 10. So the traditional switch class will work only for integer, string and enum. So it will not work for long, float and any other different types of object types. So this is the limitation. So now say for instance, if you have a different types of objects like your own classes, long, integer, so that you can able to handle it, but you have to write a number of lines is more. So let me write a piece of code to understand this one, like integer, float, class, different types of object type, how we are going to handle it manually without using or traditionally how we are going to handle so far. So I have written a piece of code which will demonstrate which it can take, if which it can take a input of object type. It can be anything, it could be string, class, integer, anything. So to understand what is the type of the object contains, so we have to use the instance keyword. Say for instance, now the instance currently it is passing the string type, so we can assume string. If it is passing a different class type of a, we have to instance and check if it is matching to this one. If it is passing as integer, so we can check the integer and we can write it. So now let me write the class. So this is the class. Okay, so now I have written a class, and let me override the toString method. So it will return class A type. So this is the one. So what it's doing here, we can pass our user, assume this value is coming from user input, and it can come as a string or in a specific class type, integer, float, double, whatever. So the object type can be anything. So in this case, what you have to do, you have to write if condition instance, and we have to typecast the values. You see, if you see here, we are trying to typecast the values. So we are writing here more number of lines and lot of if else conditions, right? So this is one of the way to deal with in a specific user instant object type. So let me run this one and we can see the output. If you see here, currently I'm passing a string, it's saying that just prime. If I pass as an object of new a, so then it will try to match to class type a. So this is also one of the traditional way, but we are using here instance keyword and we are doing here a lot of conversions. So this is the disadvantage. So how we are going to solve these two disadvantages with the help of pattern matching. So let me comment it out this one first, and let me write a piece of code. So what I'm going to do now, we are going to use the JDK 17 feature called pattern match with the help of switch class, and how we are going to solve these two problems, so that we are going to see it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the previous example as it is, and let me paste it over here. So let me remove all those things, and this is a JDK 17 feature. So this JDK 17 feature, how we are going to use it? So how we are going to use it? So far in existing one, we are trying to hardcode the corresponding value, and we are taking a specific primitive type like it's integer, enum or string. But whereas in case of JDK 17, you can use as object type as an input, and here object can be anything, right? So it could be primitive data type. So you can give here integer I. So what we are trying to do here, this object can be anything. It could be integer, float or any specific user class reference type, we can pass it. So the corresponding match, whenever it's matching, so then we can able to manage the value, or you can able to use it. So we no need to do the a special conversions. Say for instance here float f, so you can define or write your own business logic. This is as f. Say for instance, now let me write another class called a. So now class a. So that's it. So now what I can able to do, I can able to pass object type, and I no need to do instance keyword, and I no need to do the casting. So this is the way you can able to solve these two problems with the help of JDK 17 pattern match with the help of switch class. So you can pass any number of reference type, any type of reference type, any number of reference type, it can able to match very easily. We no need to use instance keyword and no need to do typecasting. So this is the beauty of pattern match with switch class. So let me run this one and we can see the output. First let me, so right now I'm passing an integer. So let me run it. You can see the output. So if you see here, right, so it's returning the object, I'm passing 10 and it's treating as a integer. So now let me pass that one as 8. Now let me run it. Let's see what I'm going to get it. So right now it is considering as a default, because though I'm passing as a float, I need to mention here f, then it will treat as a float, otherwise it will go to the default. So now it's considering as a float. Now let me pass another type called specific my own class reference. Now let me run this one and we will see the output. You can see its return type is a class of a class. So this is the beauty of pattern matches. You can use the switch and define what is the possible reference type, and corresponding values you can return it, and then you can able to use it. So that's the main use case of the pattern match which switch, which got introduced in JDK 17, and we are going to solve these two problems very easily and with less number of codes, and the code is very optimized manner. Okay, so I think that's all about this video, the main use case of 17 feature called pattern match with switch. Okay, if you like the video, you can subscribe to the channel for more subsequent updates, and thank you.